Now, when I was doing some research, it says that you guys came up with an album before you met Luke. You recorded an album and locally. Um,
Yeah.
how what was that process like? I mean, did you guys get involved in the writing? How would the sound, or pretty much was somebody doing it and you guys were just singing?
Mostly of the writing and the singing part. I mean, the producer was the guy that we met at the showcase when one was looking for a group. He was doing a lot of producing. But our sound changed. Our sound changed when we met our other producer was a friend of theirs named Stick, and that's how we came up with the growing sexy sound that you've been hearing as H-Town.
Okay.
Mhm.
Yeah.
It
Yeah,
also
yeah, yeah.
okay.
Yeah, go ahead.
No. I was going to say it also mentioned. This is the message out there that G.I. was the lead singer before somebody else changed it to Dino. Was that the case when you guys
No, they
started
had
out?
me. I was the lead
Shazam.
singer. It was me, the
Okay.
lead singer,
Yeah, yeah.
and then they changed it to Dino because I had the kind of like the Michael Jackson rap Chasm voice, and that kind of was
Oh,
in at the
yeah,
time.
yeah, yeah,
You
yeah,
know what I'm
yeah.
saying? So they was gonna make me the lead singer because the sound was Ralph in the Jackson Five boy at the time. But
Yeah,
then as
even
we
Tony
got a little
Thompson, Tony,
older,
yeah, yeah.
yeah, when we got a little older, um, and even with the boys, they had the little chipmunk voices. I
Yeah,
had
yeah,
one of those
yeah.
the chipmunk voices. But when Aaron Hall, Guy, and
Yeah.
Johnny Gill, New Edition came back with Johnny Gill, it changed the tone, the sound to a more of a heavier, raspy tone. And by that time we got there, Dino had more of that tone, you know what I'm saying? We
Okay,
both kind of had it, but it was like we don't both need to sound like, but he was better at it. So
okay.
I kind of played the role as the with the sweet sound, and then Dino kind of took the role as with the heavier tone, and then Gi came in with both the harmonies and the sweet sound. So we just
Okay,
combined it all
Yeah.
together. And
okay.
and then I took the high note and started hitting high notes on records like the Temptations and all them boys back in the day. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? Yeah.
And I don't know. I mean, because you're brothers, and then you've known each other since you were 8. When they switched the lead roles, was it hard? Because I said the industry isn't. It's that fame and that who's in the front. Was it hard to accept that Dino
Well,
was?
it didn't bother us because we had the mentality when you hungry like that, we wanna do what's best. So
Okay.
I had the
Yeah.
mentality to let's do what's best. That at the time the sound had changed, and he had the more of what the sound of today when it changed to the more
Mm.
the Aaron Hall type voices and the
R.
Johnny
Kelly
Gill
and
type
yeah,
voices,
yeah.
R. Kelly type voices.
Mm.
So what I did was I introduced other parts of my voice, like the high my falsetto and hitting
Mm.
high soprano notes in my falsetto and stuff like that. And Gi kind of had more with the smooth harmony voice, put the
Yeah.
icing on the harmonies and the backs and then in any and sing some type of leads too on some of the songs. So we
Okay.
just kind of like it's like everybody was in their lane. We were really, and then we had our own dance style. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah,
we were just
yeah.
like, we was like, hey man, whatever gonna get this deal and us
Okay.
to make it, that's how we was.
Okay.
So we all supported each other on that.
Okay. The thing that I normally wait to the end, but I'll start off early because um, everyone I talk to from cut close 112, it doesn't matter who it is. I always say, as you guys you're chasing the deal, but did you understand the deal and the industry and the business and know what you're signing yourselves up to in those very early days?
See, I think we kind of knew what it was, but not 100%. But we had good people that guide us and read the contracts for us. So we kind of really just accepted a few things just to get in the door. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Okay.
mean, we'll accept the standard contract like anybody else. You're not gonna if they would have told Luke gave us $25,000 up front. If Luke would have told us he was gonna give us $0 up front, we probably took it at that time. We 16, 17 years old, we're just like trying to make it. So, but by the time we got to the second album, we were smarter and we renegotiated our contract. And then every deal after that, we made sure we did good deals. But we signed the standard contract like
Okay.
everybody else, man. And everybody
Yeah.
that get caught in those deals, whether you knew the business or not, if you got a loop to camera with one of the biggest independent record labels in the label, you're gonna say no to it. So
Yeah.
we just did whatever we had to do to get in the game. So we pretty much knew we probably wasn't gonna get the best deal. They kind of say, quote unquote, it was the standard deal we got.
Standard deal.
But once we got success and our
Yeah.
contract was up, we renegotiated and said, now we got to do this. You know what I'm saying?
Okay. And you're probably one of the first groups that I've spoken to who have said we knew that the deal wasn't great, but we knew
Yeah.
about renegotiating when we had the opportunity. Most groups were just going with the flow until they realized where's all our money and stuff. But
Yeah.
at least you had an idea of what you're doing.
And then we also felt like, you know, they taking a chance on us too. They putting up
Yeah.
all the money. What do
Yeah.
we have to lose? If it go bad, you know, they'll be the one to lose. So we also knew like, man, let's just get the deal done. And once we get success, because we didn't know if we was gonna sell 1 million records. We didn't know we was gonna sell 1 record.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. And in the
So
90s there was a lot of competition, so it's not easy
Yeah.
to do it.
yeah.
What is it that Luke saw in you guys in that early days to take it? As I said, Luke was, you know, we knew him with his 2 Live crew. We knew him, you know, he took on the government and took on everyone regarded with his, you know, censorship and everything. I mean, he was a pioneer back in those early days, and having his own label, it was not an easy thing. I mean, as much as people might talk about business dealings and stuff, I mean, he was a trendsetter in those late 80s, early 90s. What did he see in you guys that he says, you know what, I'm coming from Miami and I'm seeing these guys out in Houston?
He loved our sound, and he
Yeah.
couldn't believe that we were singing songs like "Knock on the Boots" and "Lick You Up." See, we wrote all our songs. So we had those songs before we even got signed to Luke.
Okay,
So he
okay.
said they like Baby Loops. They like Baby Loops. You know,
Oh,
no group was
R&B.
singing R&B like the way we were singing. You know, our
yeah,
first
yeah,
2 singles was called "Knock on the Boots" and "Lick You Up." So he was like, "Whoa, they some Baby
Yeah.
Loops." So he kind of tracked them, and then we had songs like "Sex Boy." We wrote and co-produced all our music. You know what I'm saying? All our songs.
Oh,
You know, we wrote. You know what I'm saying? So that's
Mhm.
kind of what attracted them to us. That we had an edge. You know what I'm saying? We had an edge as teenagers. So he was like, "Whoa, okay." So that's why we kind of the stuff that we were singing. That's why Luke kind of waited till we turned 18 for it to come out, because we was like, we came out in 92 with him, but we were still underage a little bit, like 16, 17. So he like, by the time we got 18, then bam, we was able to drop the "Knock on the Boots" to "Lick You Up," all that stuff out there. So we was basically
Yeah.
still teenagers, but we was
wow.
more like, okay, that's why we never presented ourselves as teenagers, because
Yeah,
we were
yeah, yeah.
teenagers, but we were basically legal teenagers at that time,
Yeah.
18 years old.
Grown and sexy.
Yeah, yeah.
Young and sexy. We were
Yeah,
young and sexy.
because at that time, if I'm thinking about it, the way the music was, there was very few groups that were, you know, because R. Kelly later on with his 12 play started to go down that route later on.
Yeah.
You think of Jodeci in their 3rd album.
Well, "Knock on the Boots," when we dropped "Knock on the Boots," it changed the whole industry. It put groups like Troop out of business, because they were singing "Spread My Wings,"
Yeah, yeah.
"Fly Away." Jodeci was singing "Baby Won't You Just Stay," "Forever My Lady." Nobody was using the titles he was using. So when
Yeah.
"Knock on the Boots" came out, it changed the game so much, it made
Yeah.
R. Kelly come with a slang. That's when you
Yeah.
get bump and grind. "Knock on the
Yeah,
Boots"
yeah.
is a slang. And bump and grind is like R. Kelly said himself, "Whoa, I gotta start coming with slang." That's why he started coming with the 12 plays and the bump and grind. So "Knock on the Boots," when it dropped, it kind of changed the sound and what people was talking about
Yeah.
at that time.
Yeah. Okay. The yeah, and you know, people. It is true because, as I said, I've spoken to John from Troop and even New Edition. The kind of innocent sounds sort of changed after that. After your records came out, as I said, a lot of the way we were listening to music. Then R. Kelly, as I said, took a lot of that as well. But what made you guys choose that direction? I mean, because I know you didn't want to be singing teenage songs, but to go go all the way to that type of knocking the boots and Nick Yalt, stuff like that. That's, doing a Luke Campbell in R&B. I mean, what made you guys think that's the lane we want to take?
Well, mainly because there was nobody else doing it. You had High Five was more of a clean cut act. Their biggest song is called Kissing Game.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They Kissing Game. It's more like Teen the Boys, My Lucky Charm, Dial My Heart.
Yeah.
Even New Edition records was more like, you know what I'm saying? And Jodeci was, at the time, they two biggest records was Baby Won't You Just Stay and Forever My Lady.
Yeah.
And Come and Talk, there was nothing. So we was like, this is a lane that's open. Somebody just come straight to it, but do it tastefully and subliminally. Like, knocking the boots, what is knocking the boots? That's why we tried to come up with a slang and want to build group, like our second album's all slow jams, baby making music. So, and you had Keith Sweat before us, he was a beggar. He begged a lot, you know what I'm saying? So we kind of studied the audience around us and say, no, this lane is open for us just to go, let's just go in, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks for watching. Please remember to subscribe to the channel, but most importantly, to press the notification bell so that you can be notified when we do have a new interview. Loads to come, but thanks a lot for watching.